Tyre pressure makes a big difference to how your bike rides, and there's quite a few things that will influence how you set your tyre pressure, such as the type of bike you're putting your tyres on, what type of tyres you've got, the conditions you're riding in, and also your skill level should all determine how hard you have your tyres. So today we're going to take a look at a few different types of bike and give you a bit of a guide on how to set your tyre pressure. So when you go to your local bike shop, there's probably going to be a massive range of tyres. Let's talk about what makes those tyres different. The first one is folding versus non-folding. Obviously it's a folding tyre. They tend to be more expensive but lighter. The non-folding tyres have a wire bead in them and they're heavier. Rubber compound, you can get softer, stickier rubber, which is going to offer more grip, but they will be slower rolling. Tread pattern, you see this is quite a big aggressive rubber knobs on there. Better for more aggressive styles of riding like downhill. Again, they're going to be slower. Also the conditions are going to determine how big that tread is. So the bigger, more aggressive rubber like this is going to work better in muddy conditions. Durability, another consideration. Do you mind having soft tyres that are going to wear out quick? They're going to offer you a lot of grip. Obviously it's going to be more expensive replacing your tyres more often. And also tubeless versus non-tubeless. I think probably for 90% of bikes, tubeless is going to be the better option. So for a cross-country bike, or really any bike that you're going to be riding for a long distance, the main considerations are rolling resistance and weight. So you want the tyres to be nice and light and also really fast. I guess the payoffs for that are they're not the most durable tyres and they're more likely to puncture really. You can see this is a Continental Trail King, so the tyre profile, or the tread profile, is actually quite low and quite spaced, so it's a really fast tyre. I would say the pressures really range from sort of mid-20s to the sort of low 30s, so up to about 32 psi. Personally, I run 26 psi in the front and 28 in the back, and I might go up a couple of psi if the trails are particularly rocky, or down a couple of psi if it's really muddy and I need a bit more grip. It's just going to let the tyre sort of mould to the floor a little bit better. But if you go too low, the tyre's going to start squirming around.
For downhill riding and racing, you're looking for toughness and grip. You know it's going to have a thicker casing. You don't want any punctures when you're out racing or when you're riding either. That's why you might see a lot of the pros are actually using a much heavier tyre, and it'll be tubeless to give them as much puncture protection as possible. With the grip, well, this can really vary on the conditions. For drier conditions, you can have something that's a little bit faster rolling, then you can get an intermediate tyre, and then you can get those big mud spike tyres that really dig in. For those faster, rougher, rockier tracks, that is when you want to have your tyre pressure that little bit harder, so that when you're going through the rock gardens, you're not going to be dinging your rims, bottoming out onto the rim, because this is when you could either rip a tyre or get a flat tyre. So in that case, you're going to have a higher tyre pressure. On the bike that I'm riding at the moment, I've got 24 psi in the front and 29 in the rear, and I'm weighing in at 78 kilograms. And I'd say that I'm a relatively smooth rider.
So there's two things to take into consideration when picking a dirt jump tyre or a slopestyle tyre, and that is rolling resistance and toughness. But for me, I haven't really gone for a tough tyre. I've gone for a super lightweight tyre. It's folding and I've pumped it up really hard. This tyre can take a max of 65 psi. I've just gone below that. I want 60 psi. So the benefit of me running super high pressure at 60 psi is because I don't want that tyre to blow off its bead when I land a little bit sideways on one of those big jumps. With grip, I don't really need that much because all the surfaces that I ride are rock solid, and just having that little bit of grip, a little bit of tread is perfect. The benefits of running tubeless, I don't see any benefit in running tubeless. Tubes are fine.
So how are you actually going to check that tyre pressure? Well, you can do two things. Most pumps have actually got a little gauge on it. As you can see here, this is my travel pump. Of course, you can use a big track pump, which have got a massive gauge, a little bit more accurate. Alternatively though, you can get one of these. Now this is a pressure gauge. It's a digital one, and it is so easy to use. All you do is put that onto the valve, whether it's Presta or a Schrader, and it'll give you a reading that is super accurate, and you adjust it from there using this little yellow button to take pressure out. And then if you need to add more in, well, you just pump up your tyres.
So there you go, there's quite a few considerations when setting your tyre pressure. I'm going to throw two more at you. With tubeless tyres, you can potentially run slightly lower pressures because you've got no risk of puncturing your tube, snake bites. However, I find that if you're an aggressive rider, you actually probably want to stick around the same pressure, you'll start rolling your tyre around. Also, if you're a very heavy rider and you have to run really hard pressures to stop yourself from puncturing, anything over, let's say 35 PSI, I'd consider getting a tougher tyre. So a tyre with more threads per inch. It's going to give you more protection so you can come back down to normal pressures. If you want to see more videos like this, click over here just to subscribe to JMBM and click up there for how to fit tubeless tyres and click down there for tyre tread pattern explained. Give us a thumbs up if you found this video useful, and as ever, leave comments down below, especially if you think we've missed anything.